croissant, so that you will have a smooth progress through the program, so that you can be with the cohort all the time. Of course, upGrad has a lot of tutors. We will have weekly doubt clearing sessions by IIITB faculty as well as subject matter experts who will take care of those who are having some problems, but it is up to you in order to make sure that you will stay with the group. That's guideline number 2. Next one, Siddhant. The third, so as we have mentioned here, there are a lot of components. It is very important to score minimum requirement. The minimum of 25% marks in each course is mandatory for graduation, but don't aim for that. Aim for 100%. Minimum CGPA of 2.4 out of 4 is required, but aim for 4 CGPA. Normally, we have a grand graduation ceremony every year in our auditorium at IIIT Bangalore, and we give a lot of awards for best performing learners. So we want all of you to be on the stage, right, as best performing learners. So we want you to breeze the tape at 4.0 CGPA and not 2.4. That's guideline number 3. Next one, Siddhant. This is important, right? So we have something called as a no plagiarism policy. So what is plagiarism? Plagiarism is that you have your friend or family member or even ChatGPT doing your homework or assignment, and you submit it as if it is your own, and that's called as plagiarism. In fact, as you can probably imagine, a lot of cases are being filed against ChatGPT because it violates, for example, the copyrights of authors and so on. So the same thing holds good here. You cannot take credit for work done by others. And if it is detected, of course, upGrad has put in a lot of tools. We are trying to beat ChatGPT. So if, for example, for some reasons the plagiarism is detected, we don't have any option except to terminate the contract with the learner. So it's not just a threatening remark from me, but basically you are here for a purpose. Right? You are here to learn. You are here to upskill yourself in the emerging areas of data sciences. So we want all of you to put in your own effort, right? That's very important. That's guideline number 4. The 5th one is not present here, I'll tell you. See, it is quite possible that because of your background, because this data science course is going to be heavy, right? I mean, to start with, we'll have a lot of statistics, and then we'll have programming, we'll have database assignments, and so on, right? So it is possible that you might be having some difficulty in some of the courses. You might lag behind, but don't worry. We are here to support you and make sure that you go through the program and make the best of the program. But in any case, if you fall, don't surrender, right? Get up and run. I mean, this is one of the things that I always tell, and Siddharth knows about it. There are a lot of lessons to be learned from sports, like Roger Federer, looking at the paper about the first Wimbledon and in Paris and in Wimbledon, when Roger Federer won the matches, right, final matches. Roger Federer always used to be there, irrespective of his conditions, right? He's always there, which means that hard work really pays off, right? There is one more thing. In the last Tokyo Olympics, there was a lady called Sifa Hassan of Netherlands. Right? She was supposed to be a gold medal winner at 1,500 meters. She fell in the first heat, preliminary. So everyone said that, oh, she's not going to make it. You should see that video. It's there on YouTube. She got up, ran, she won the heats, and she went on to win the silver medal, and she also won the gold medal in 3,000 meters. That's the spirit that we want all of you to have. That is guideline number 5. Don't give up. We are all there to help you out. In case you have problems, you have difficulties, upGrad has excellent tutors, and the buddies, upGrad buddies, will help you out. The IIITB faculty will do their doubt clearing sessions. So guideline number 5, don't give up. You will be fine. You get up and you put in your hard work, and the program, you will be able to make the best of the program. So there is one more small policy guideline that I want to tell you. It's not here. See, you are a group of 135. I can see 135 of you have logged in. There's always data science program runs in 100 to 150 every month, right? So we have a good, successful program which we have been running for the last 6 years. Now, all your live sessions, which are being conducted by the subject matter experts as well as IIITB faculty, will happen online. And since this is a large classroom online, please make sure that you follow the academic conduct, right? So which means that you don't interrupt the faculty members, because they are here over the weekends to make you learn certain things in the subject. So please make sure that you have the academic conduct outlined in the program. Of course, the tool, learner tool platform upGrad has always has provisions for you to ask questions. It can be very interactive, but maintain the academic decorum so that it is beneficial for both you as well as the faculty who is teaching the particular session. So having said this, I once again congratulations to all of you and welcome all of you on board for this particular program. Flagship program conducted by IIITB faculty and upGrad, the data science program, which is powered by AI, which means that you will learn a lot of new concepts, including prompt engineering and some other things with respect to embedding AI into the data sciences. So welcome all of you, and I'm sure that you will have a good time. Enjoy your program, and we will see all of you at IIIT Bangalore during your graduation, with everyone breezing the tape at 4.0 and everyone vying for the awards. Okay, so having said that, I will hand it over to Siddharth, and have a pleasant weekend and the program. Thank you. Siddharth?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today and motivating the learners and sharing the most important guidelines which learners are supposed to follow. So once again, thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. So yeah, so learners, now on this note, I'll hand over stage to Dr. Darshan to take it ahead from here. Over to you, sir.
Hi, Siddhant. Hello, everyone. A very good morning to all of you. I hope I'm audible, Siddhant.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
So welcome to the session, everyone. And what are we having in the bucket? Well, before I even get started with it, yes, hi, good morning, everyone. A very good morning to all of you. So sharing my screen, let me first quickly introduce to you about myself. So, friends, my name is Dr. Darshan Ingle. I'm a principal consultant and a senior data scientist. My areas of expertise start from the basics of Python, R, Julia, right up to the advanced tracks like business analytics, data analytics, natural language processing, machine learning, generative AI, BI tools like Tableau, Power BI, PySpark. And of course, when I talk about generative AI, of course, the co-pilots and all things are also there, right? It's been a long time with upGrad, almost 4 years, I would say. And I must say that the overall course curriculum and the structures are designed in a very proper way. So, we can call it like an incremental approach while you learn. But yes, as Professor Sridhar said, undoubtedly the programs are exhaustive in nature. They will demand your time, they will demand your attention, but they will also assure you that you are getting the best output after that, right? So the rewards are really very high, point number one. And next important thing, right? You are learning AI at the right point of time in your career. Yes, I can say a little bit late, but still it's not that late that we can actually call you as late, right? It's just like you have lost the early bird offer, but you are still on the right time to learn AI, because we have seen the things have been changing very rapidly in the last 2 years. change is constant, and constant means it is so much changing it that, it's really hard to beat the wave. And this has been the scenario with almost everyone now. And if you really want to excel, then the only option which is left out is to upgrade yourself. And for upgrading yourself, you have chosen the right platform, I would say, right? Because as I told you, right, the things are very much structured. Just completing my introduction, right? You might have definitely read through some of the other pointers which are there on the screen. I don't intend to read each and everything. Just to quickly wrap up, I have around 15 years of experience in this domain. I also have conducted a lot of B2B trainings for companies like Salesforce, PepsiCo, Citibank, HDFC Bank, NASCOM, PGCIL, HPCL, Central Bank of India, just to name a few. I have around 15 research papers. Yes, that is not updated at the bottom right corner, and 2 patents to my credit. So there is another side of my profile as well, where I am also working as a consultant, where we do take projects from the industry, execute it, and accomplish it successfully. Right now, what is important, according to me, is going to be the training profile of me, and that is what you see shared on the screen. And now we are getting started with what do we have in the next 1 hour to be delivered to you. So I am not here. Let me be very, very specific, right? So that you have a good idea. You have this program, right? All of you know that we have this entire program being structured for a total duration of 1 year. So, it basically starts something like this, you'll be starting with programming language like Python. Then you end up studying SQL. Then you end up looking at uh, what is exploratory data analysis. Then you end up getting into machine learning. And after this, you have to choose your, excuse me, sorry. Yes, here you have to choose your track, right? You go for business analytics, data analytics, you go for data engineering, you go for deep learning, you go for natural language processing track. And now recently, right? Recently, just I would say 1 month, we have Gen AI track introduced as well. So which track you are going to study, you have to choose up that and explore that. Now, I have been associated with all the tracks except the data engineering track because that's not my area of expertise. So overall, what am I going to deliver to you today is not an understanding of the overall thing, but giving you a superficial touch into few of these things. So you may be tempted to ask me questions like, what exactly happens over here? Please make a note of it that we have exact 1 year to explore these things in detail, right? So there may be some of the things which you may find interesting to explore at this point of time, but please make a note that everything cannot be delivered in just a short amount of time. So now, what am I having in the agenda for you today? So friends, I think this is fortunately covered by me. So let's go ahead. So we start with our introduction. What is data science machine learning? Why machine learning? Challenges in machine learning and the applications. Overall, this is what I'm going to cover for you, but not necessarily in the same order. It depends. It depends completely on the flow of our class. So starting with it, let us keep it very, very simple. When I say data science, right? So what is basically data science? I like to keep it very, very simple for all of you to understand. Data science is like a detective story. Yes, I personally compare it very much in alignment with this. It's like a detective story where you will be having a bunch of clues, which I call as data. And using that, you are expected to find something useful. Yes. So it's all about generating, it's all about gathering, analyzing, and interpreting the data to solve the problems or gain insights. For example, imagine you have a store and you want to know which products sell the most during different times of the year. What do you do in such case? You collect the data on the sales, you collect the data on weather, collect the data on holidays, and many more factors like this which are pertinent to this problem. And then you use the data science techniques to figure out patterns. So here, as I told you, you try to figure out patterns. And once you figure out the pattern, you try to use that pattern to make predictions. On the other hand, machine learning. So machine learning, in very, very simple words, it is nothing but a type of data science. Yes, it's a type of data science. That's why earlier you might have seen where I said that you learn all of this in your data science program. So machine learning is a type of data science where you will see that computers actually learn from the data. And again, for what are they learning? To make decisions or to make predictions without being explicitly programmed to do so. Just like if I show you various images of cat and dog, just imagine that I have shown you 50 images of cat and 50 images of dog. And now I say that, hey, this is the image. Can you tell me whether it is cat or dog? And as a human, you are able to figure it out. Why is that happening? Because you have understood the features of the cat and dog. You have understood how they are different. And this is exactly what we make computers to understand. So it is like teaching a computer to recognize the patterns and make decisions based on those patterns. I can give you one more example, right? You can think about a spam filter for your email. Have you ever thought about when you receive an email, it automatically gets marked as either a spam or not spam in most of the scenarios based on your usage pattern. That is exactly another good example of natural language processing where a computer is able to understand a natural language like English. So to conclude, data science is about understanding data. Machine learning is a subset of data science that involves training computers to learn from the data. Let me give you some good industry examples to understand this better. So, just want to use the ink example. If I talk about e-commerce, think of companies like Amazon. They use the data science to understand customer behavior. They use it to understand customer preferences as well as their purchasing patterns. So they analyze the data from past purchases, browsing history, demographic information to personalize product recommendations and optimize the pricing strategies. Data science. Machine learning? Well, they employ machine learning techniques for various things. One of it can be like the fraud detection, or you can think about predicting the customer churn when a customer stops using their service, or even you can think about improving the search algorithms. I search for a particular product and am I getting what I am looking for? These all things are a part of e-commerce. I'll give you one more example. Let's say, let's talk with respect to healthcare. Data science organizations, healthcare organizations, they use data science to analyze patient records, to look at medical imaging or even genomic data, right, in order to improve the diagnosis. Or you can think of developing personalized treatment plan, developing personalized treatment plans. Or you can even think of predicting the disease outbreaks. Machine learning on the other side over here is used for predicting patient outcomes. Or you can also think of identifying the high-risk patients so that, we can identify that who need extra care. You can think of developing algorithms to assist in medical imaging for detecting diseases like cancer or Alzheimer's disease. And there are n number of examples that I can talk about. Just to, take one more example. Let's consider the area of finance. I'm sure most of you, right, have some exposure to this domain, data science. So banks, financial institutions leverage data science to detect fraudulent transactions. Or you can also use it to assess credit risk or personalize some investment recommendations based on the individual financial goals and risk tolerance. Machine learning on the other part, nowadays we hear a lot about algorithmic trading. Who sits behind this? Machine learning algorithms. Computers are using the historical market data to make investment decisions in real time. Plus, here ML can also be used for credit scoring models where you assess the credit worthiness of loan applicants based on various factors. One example for you, right? Let me see how much are you able to apply this concept. I'm considering the example of, no, I think let's go with marketing. So now that you have a context of what I am trying to make you understand. So let me hear it from you. If I talk about marketing from the data science perspective, what comes to your mind? Where can the marketing teams employ data science? Let me hear it from you. Where can a marketing team employ data science? Just based on the context of the previous three examples, I want you to predict for this example. So now you are the machine learning model. Analyze product need, find customers, targets, yes. Experimenting marketing campaign, correct customers for pushing products, okay. Studying customer behavior to devise the target case, the customer base, check target base, which type of products and what session will be good. What season? So what season would be good? Sorry. Advertising the products to find the trend or the sales. Okay. Customer. Awesome. Yeah. Very nice. So now you understand what is the machine learning model in that case. Consumption patterns, timing, and season. Analyze correct customers. Perfect. Very good. Yes. I'm reading out everything, but I'm not speaking on that. So I'm just scrolling through the chat box, discount pattern, products based on certain age. Yes, that's right. So marketing teams can employ data science to analyze, as you said, right, customer demographics, behavior. One point you missed out, right? You can also think of interactions with the various channels like social media, websites, emails. And based on that, you can create targeted marketing campaigns and measure their effectiveness. And coming on to the machine learning side of it, can you think of few typical applications of machine learning in the marketing domain? Now I'm thinking about models, huh? Predicting target or bucket for my product. Okay. Identifying customer requirement. Yes. Customer service, amount spent. Mhm. There is something which I'm typically looking for, which I'm still not able to see it in the chat box. Yes, I mean, none of you are wrong, but one thing I am still looking for in the chat box, which I think is one of the important things. More or less the same things I'm seeing in the chat. Yes, very nice. Exactly what I was looking for. Harshit Goyal. ML models can assist in personalized marketing by developing recommendation systems that suggest products or content based on individual preferences and the past interactions. Another very important thing, sentiment analysis to gauge public opinion about the brands or the products on social media, right? So recommendation system and sentiment analysis, one of the very prime things which are there over here. Cool. So now let's get started with the next page. So changing my ink color. So let me now get to you a little bit in detail with it to make you understand this concept 100%. And we all love to hear stories. And here I present to you a story of lion and a fox. So who is the lion over here? So the lion is nothing but your manager. And fox is you yourself, a data scientist. All right. Now, the thing is, friends, Now, the story is something like this. We all know that the lion is the king of the jungle. Now, the lion has hired a data scientist who is nothing but a fox to help him find a prey. Now, we are just taking a step in more detail of what we discussed. So, to help him find a prey. Now, what did the fox do? Obviously, he has to present some results. So the fox did take up entire 1 month and did the survey of the entire jungle. And then he came to lion with the output, saying that, my dear manager, I can see as per the data that in your jungle, you have 5 giraffes. You have 105 deers. We have 15 elephants. You have 50 buffaloes. And you have 3 hunters. Now, my question to you is, do you think whatever this data scientist has given as the output is really helpful to the lion? Whatever the fox has given, right? Do you think this is helpful? Whatever, not yet, no. No. According to me, this data is certainly helpful for the lion. I'll tell you why. See, if I am the lion, listen to me very, very carefully now. You can stop putting in the chats. If I am the lion, or let's say if you are the lion and you are being presented with this data, and today you are hungry, so much hungry, so much hungry, so much hungry that you just can't bear. So, you just need food desperately. So, you will be going to hunt for a giraffe, right? Because you're feeling like having giraffe. Will you do that if you are too hungry? Or which animal will you target if you are too hungry? Which animal will you target? And why so? Why so? Because the one more available easy target. You were saying that the data is not useful, but I can see the data is certainly useful. And I think now you agree with me a little bit that whatever survey the fox has given to the lion certainly is useful, right? Yes, the probability of finding a deer is high. And therefore, if I'm very hungry, I know that I should not target for giraffe, even if I am tempted to have it. Else, I may stay hungry for a more longer than while. So what you see over here, right? This is exactly what we call as descriptive statistics. This is not machine learning. I agree with you. This is not machine learning. This is exactly what we call as descriptive statistics. So when I talk about descriptive statistics, friends, you'll study it in detail. You'll have a session on descriptive statistics. So whenever you have a data, you will look for some of the things like finding out the sum, or like here we have found out the count, or maybe the minimum value. or maybe the maximum value, or mean, median, standard deviation. You don't know how to calculate standard deviation? You have the course to learn it in detail. Don't worry about it. Variance, skewness, you will be studying these things. So don't worry about the technicalities of it at the moment. You have kurtosis. All of these are few of the factors that we do use in the descriptive statistics. So in simple words, I can say, let me give you some practical examples of descriptive statistics. So what do we understand? Descriptive statistics is all about analyzing the historical data to understand the past trends, patterns, and relationships. So it will provide insights into what has happened in the past and help organizations gain better understanding of the current situation. Let me give you some practical examples. Let's consider retail. Let's say there is a retail store who wants to understand the sales performance for the past year. What will they do? They want to understand the sales performance over the past year. So they will analyze the historical sales data like the sales volume, revenue, product category sold, and descriptive analytics will help them identify the trends such as seasonal sales pattern or which are their top selling products, which can be used to optimize the inventory management, pricing strategies, even the marketing campaigns. Or if I talk about, let's consider manufacturing, right? We didn't consider this example. So a manufacturing company, let's say this company wants to analyze the production data to understand manufacturing performance. So they will examine the historical production records like the production output, downtime, quality metrics, and descriptive analytics will help them identify production trends such as bottlenecks, quality issues, and these things can be used to optimize the production processes, improve efficiency, and reduce the cost. So certainly helpful. So I say, on the first day, as we said, right, the fox presented the lion with the report summarizing what happened in the last 6 months, 6 months, 1 month, whatever you consider. This is just an analogy to make you understand. It depends on case to case what duration you consider for this. Okay, but this information certainly is going to help the lion spot his future hunting ground. So that is descriptive statistics. Does the story end over here? No. Now we are trying to understand what is predictive analysis. As you all said, right? Some of you said, not all, some of you said that he can think of predicting something. I read something like that, right? He can think of predicting something. So, my dear friends, now the fox continued his analysis. And the fox came to a conclusion that the jungle is somewhat of the shape. Lion stays. Please use Hindi words as well. I am so sorry. ये possible नहीं होगा. There is a reason why it is not possible, because there are some people who certainly join from the southern parts of India and they absolutely understand zero Hindi. So while you may love it, They may not understand even a single word of what I speak. I'll try to keep it a mix with perfect translations at every place. I will try. I am not assuring to you, Divyanshi. Even I love to take it that way, but I cannot. Okay. So I was saying, yeah, the fox continued his analysis and he realized that the jungle is of this shape. Fair enough. Can this shape be helpful? One needs to think. Then he realized that this is where the pond is, right? Where animals come to drink water. And he came to the lion with an insight. And the insight was that this is the place, my dear manager, this is the place where animals usually come to drink water. Obviously, this is useless because everyone goes to drink water. But what is useful is when he says that, my dear manager, most of the animals come to drink water between 1 to 2 p.m. Do you think this information is useful for the lion? Ah, yes, है ना? Absolutely. Rather than continuously hanging out throughout the jungle looking for a prey, now he can target a specific time when he can hunt for the prey. So this is what we call as predictive analytics. So predictive analytics is predicting what time of day is the best time for hunting. But the duty of a data scientist does not end over here. Machine learning is all about predictive analytics, but the duty of data scientist does not end here. Fox का duty यहाँ पे खत्म नहीं होता. The duty of Fox doesn't end over here. So what is left out? Risk optimization means for coming to this analysis, let's say the Fox took 2 months. Now, do not forget, we have done something on the earlier slide, which is called as descriptive statistics. From there, you certainly looked at the point of your interest where you understand that, okay, deers are the animals which I should focus on. These are the pros. But cons, hunters. Like a lion is going to hunt for a prey, hunters are going to hunt for which prey? Lion. So the lion has to be careful about them. Now, what has the fox been doing? So the fox says that, my dear lion, there are two ways. There are two ways to reach the pond from your den. This is the first road, assuming there are a lot of trees over here. So you have to walk something like this. And that's where you reach to ponds. I call this as the first way. And there is one more way where you start from here because there is a valley. It goes around the corner. Then again comes over here. Then again there is a valley. So you have to again go over here and again come over here. And then there is a straight road where there is a small valley. You have to move around like this, like this, like this. And then you reach over here. Option number 1 and option number 2. precisely, whenever you're doing predictive analytics, you don't apply just one machine learning algorithm, but you apply multiple algorithms. Let us say I have applied two algorithms, algorithm 1 and algorithm 2, which are my root 1 and root 2. My question to you is, the lion has to now take a decision to go to the pond to hunt for the animal. You are the lion today. Which route are you going to choose? Exactly. Now you all are getting my point, but I'll come to my conclusion slowly. Yes, I agree to your point that we are going to choose the route number 1 because route number 1 is shorter and route number 2 is longer. I agreed. So time saving is what is the answer to this. But the Fox duty also doesn't end over here. So precisely what I'm trying to say that if you have two machine learning algorithms, you will be choosing that machine learning algorithm which takes the least amount of time for prediction. Imagine, right? So let us take, for example, the Mahindra's ADAS system, right? I'm not even talking of BMW. Let's say Mahindra's ADAS system. All of you are aware of the ADAS system, right? Yes, automatic lane detection. So the driver can simply play the game of cards and the car will continue to go ahead. Oh, full form, advanced driver assistance system. एक उमंग जागती है तुम्हारे नाम से. Very nice. So yes, so ADAS system is the one for those of you. I'm sure there are a couple of people who don't know it. So ADAS is the one where a driverless, a driver car can be converted into a driverless car where you turn on the ADAS and it will follow the lane. If the car in the front is braking, your car will automatically brake. The road turns, your car will also automatically turn. Lane detection. And if the car in the front suddenly brakes, your car will also brake. All fine, all awesome. Now, why did I talk about the ADAS system? Now, if you're talking about Mahindra's ADAS system, is it okay that the car in the front is urgently braking and you have to brake in next 2 seconds, but the car takes 3 seconds to brake and an accident occurs? Is that okay? No, of course not, right? We want the system to be fast, which clearly tells us that if there is a machine learning algorithm in the ADAS system, which is doing the prediction of lane detection, we will go with the algorithm number 1. Just like here, the lion will choose lane 1. But if I add on to the complexity, if the fox says that, my dear lion, things are good so far, but I like to add that there are 3 hunters along this route. And here, there are absolutely no hunters because this is going too much near the valley. So hunters usually are not here. This point of time, if I ask you, in fact, without asking only, I can see it in the chat, but let me still put it to you. Which route will you choose as a lion? Yes. Precisely, you are ignoring a fast algorithm and you are choosing a slow algorithm today. So which one you choose in this example is based on the risk associated. Exactly my point that depending on the domain, you are going to choose that particular algorithm. Sometimes you need a faster algorithm with lesser accuracy. Just like in ADAS, we need something which works really fast, right? And there are some cases where we want something to be precise. For example, you are having a machine learning algorithm which is going to capture a photograph, let's say for the cops, and predict whether the person is likely source of a terrorist. And if the algorithm is really fast to detect and misses out few of the genuine terrorists as being innocent, We can't afford to take that risk. If it takes a few seconds extra, but if it is able to predict a person as being terrorist or not, this is what I expect from the algorithm. A genuine person should not be predicted as terrorist, and a terrorist should not be predicted as a genuine person. We want to minimize the false positive and false negative cases. Precisely, I am saying that whether you choose algorithm 1 or algorithm 2 in multiple scenarios depends on the domain knowledge. That is exactly what I am saying, right? We are talking about optimization. We do talk about optimization. So, as I said, right, later the fox estimated the probability for finding the given prey at a certain place and time, and also identified the routes in the jungle to minimize his efforts to find the prey. And then also the safer routes, as we just said. And this is called as predictive analytics and optimization. So friends, if I give a little bit examples about our predictive analytics, well, let's say, as an example, I am taking example from the marketing domain. So let's say there is a marketing agency who wants to predict customer churn for a subscription-based service. So they analyze the customer data, including the usage patterns, interactions, feedbacks. Using the predictive analysis, they can identify factors associated with churn, like declining usage, dissatisfaction, and proactively engage at-risk customers with targeted retention campaigns and offers to reduce the churns. In the same way, if I am talking, let's say, with respect to marketing, not marketing, let's say if I'm talking with respect to finance, so that I can also compare an example on optimization over here. An insurance company, it wants to predict the likelihood of an individual making an insurance claim in the next year. The likelihood of an individual making an insurance claim in the next year. मतलब next year ये बंदा गाड़ी ठोकेगा कि नहीं और insurance claim करेगा कि नहीं. Exactly what I said in English a few seconds back. So for predicting the likelihood of an individual making insurance claim in the next year, we analyze the historical customer data, including the past claims, demographics, and the policy details. And then you use predictive analytics. You develop a risk profile for each customer. You allow them to adjust the premiums and the underwriting criteria accordingly to manage the risks more effectively. On the other hand, I was talking about optimization, where you mainly aim to find the best solution among the set of alternatives. Best solution can be for following things: maximizing the efficiency, minimizing the cost, or achieving other desired outcomes. So if I talk, let's say, let me take that finance example only. So let's again consider a portfolio manager. He wants to optimize their investment portfolio to maximize returns and minimize the risk through portfolio optimization techniques. There are many techniques for portfolio optimization. I know a few of them. One is mean variance optimization. One is the Markowitz modern portfolio theory, etc., etc. So, by using this portfolio optimization techniques, they can allocate investments across diverse set of assets to achieve the desired risk return portfolio. This will help the investor achieve better diversification, reduce the portfolio volatility, and improve the long-term investment. So predictive analytics is important, but optimization also plays a crucial role in helping the organizations to make decisions, improve operational efficiency, and achieve their strategic objectives more effectively. Now, one small thing around this is what I would like to explore. And this is all about what you're going to study in the next 6 months. Machine learning lifecycle. So what exactly happens over here? So whenever you talk about machine learning lifecycle, this machine learning lifecycle is going to consist of several stages. Like you see on the screen, right? You have understanding identification of business problem. Then you collect the data, clean the data, transform the data, explore the data, build the model, and present it to the stakeholders. Anyways, don't worry about it. We are going to discuss this one by one. There is a very famous model in place called as CRISP DM for doing this. Cross industry standard process for data mining. Data mining is nothing but analysis of data. Oh, mining is nothing but analysis. So I was saying, let us dive into each stage with some practical examples and what activities are done at each stage with respect to a data set. You have a project at hand, right? So usually this is how we handle any kind of consultancy projects in real life. So you have a project at hand. You are sitting with the client. What are you expecting? You are expecting to understand the problem which your client is facing. So here in this stage, right, this framework is very, very important. By looking at the lines, it is very easy to predict also what happens, but missing a single point in any of this can lead to huge disasters in the project completion. At the end, you come with a conclusion, client says that, no, we also asked for this. So documentation of every stage is very, very important. Very, very important. So understanding business problem or identification of the business problem. This is something which is very crucial to understand the business problem that our machine learning is aiming to solve. It is not always a machine learning problem, but I'm just talking with respect to ML so that I can, be very restrictive to this and will be easy for you to understand. So here you have to collaborate between data scientists, domain experts, as well as the business stakeholders. So if you look at small consultancy firm where, we call it as multi-role, right? So we have to play multiple roles at the same time to ensure that we are gathering the requirements and identifying the problem perfectly. Like, for example, if you have an e-commerce company, one of the common business problems which I have seen, which they have, is predicting the customer churn to improve the retention rates and the profitability. One of the very common problems which they face. Next, collect the necessary data. So now you identified the problem. So you collect the relevant data. That's very important. I would say, I don't want the data. I don't request the client for give me your data, right? Give me the relevant data. So for that, you need to identify the data sources, obtain the necessary permissions, and you focus on gathering from them both. If the data is relevant, be it structured, like in the form of Excel, CSV, JSON, or be it unstructured, like in the form of just text, you get it. Like I was talking about a customer churn prediction problem. So relevant data might be what? So with respect to the customer churn prediction, my relevant data can be my customer demographics. Uh, it can be the transaction history. It can be website interactions, etc., etc. Then you get into cleaning the data. What is cleaning? Data cleaning is all about handling missing values. See, we also have a habit, right? If you are being given some data to be filled up, and if there is something which is optional to be filled up, like for example, someone is offering you a credit card, but taking down or giving the phone number is optional. So you end up giving your email ID and you skip giving your phone number to ensure that you are not being harassed over the phones. So what to do in such scenarios? So handling the missing values, or at times you also have cases like removing duplicates, or you gave your email ID. My email ID is idarshan@gmail.com. While typing, I typed idarshan@gmail.com. So I need to correct errors as well as dealing with the outliers. So in the collected data, you have to ensure that the data is of high quality and suitable for analysis. Like there cannot be missing values in the customer age column. Very important. There cannot be duplicates in the transaction history. And there cannot be outliers in the revenue data. No missing values in age column. That's very important. No duplicates in the transaction history. And no outliers in the revenue data. Cleaning, right? That is cleaning. Then you have the data transformation. Transformation is nothing but converting your raw data into something which is suitable for analysis, as well as the next step, which is modeling. So here there are various things that one can do. You will study each and everything in your exploratory data analysis session. I call as feature engineering, scaling, encoding, categorical variables, then handling image or text data. What is feature engineering? Feature engineering is creating new and more meaningful features from the already existing ones. Like you have transaction dates. What feature can you engineer out of it? Customer tenure. If I have the transaction dates of a customer, I can actually understand that the customer is active from which all date to which date. Then scaling is like converting the numbers into a smaller scale, because machines just hate big numbers. There are reasons for it. We will talk about it. Then one-hot encoding. Machines don't understand English. So, if you have a column like gender, and the gender has two values, male and female. So there is a column which consists of, let's say, 50,000 values, either has male or female. It will give unique value. Let's say male is given the value of 1, female is given the value as 0. So wherever in this data set male is there, you will replace by 1. Wherever female is there, you replace by 0. So this column is now converted into this column. Because machines don't understand this, but they understand this. This is encoding. You will study this in detail. So you will have to encode for categorical variables like product categories. Then data exploration, analysis, and visualization. This is where you do something which is called as exploratory data analysis, where you try to understand the characteristics of the data. You try to understand the relationship between variables as well as pattern. I'll give you an example. Like you go for, you use bar plots for categorical variables or scatter plots for exploring the relationship between the variables to understand the patterns in the customer behavior and what are the factors influencing your churn. Then model. This is the place where you develop machine learning models, not model, but multiple models. And out of that, you choose the best one. And now we know that, when I say best one, best is not always with respect to speed. Best is also not always which is simple. Best is the one which is best solving your business problem as per the requirement of your client. Customer is the king. If he is satisfied with your solution, it's accepted. And then the last one is presenting. Now you propose this as the best, but obviously this is not what you are going to share with the client. So you're not going to share the code with the client. You're not going to share the model with the client, but you are going to deploy this model, maybe on GCP, maybe on AWS, maybe on Azure, on a particular web page. And you're going to share that web page access with the client so that he can actually play around with it and figure out whether the things are good. You are going to present to your stakeholders in a clear and understandable manner what insights have you gained from it. You have to create reports over there. Here comes Tableau and Power BI in place, where you create dashboards or presentations to communicate your findings and recommendations. And in some cases, as I told you, our models are deployed into the production system. So with respect to our example, we can have the insights from the customer churn prediction analysis, which could be identifying the key factors influencing churn, like customer tenure, frequency of products, recent interactions with the customer service. And all of this can inform the strategies for the customer retention, like targeted marketing campaigns or any kind of personalized offers. So overall, what do we understand, right? A machine learning lifecycle will involve series of iterative steps. It's not just, it's not a top to down manner. If you actually look at the CRISP DM, CRISP DM framework, this is how the framework is. Nothing is linear, right? There are a lot of steps which are iterative. So jitna आसान लगता है उतना है नहीं. It is not that simple as it looks. There are some iterative steps, and if you fail to do the things properly, Right from the evaluation stage, before you submit it to the client, you may have to reiterate and redevelop the entire model from the scratch. So, you say na in Hindi ki फूक फूक के एक एक कदम रखना पड़ता है. You have to be really careful while executing any of the steps. You cannot afford to miss out anything. And that is how machine learning life cycle works. You know what? This is one part of the story. You are going to now explore a lot of things over here, right? So, lot of things in the sense, everything related to machine learning, you will be exploring the evolution of machine learning, how it went. It's very much self-explanatory. I don't think so I need to talk about it. You will be talking about 5 reasons as to why machine learning is important. Like we discussed, better understand customers, improve the product and services, create new revenue streams, necessity of the business model, fraud prevention, and detection. Organizations believe that data science should be at the heart of decision making. And see, that is true as well today, right? We know. But this is all fine, right? I can see today a consistent attendance of 141 right now in our Zoom. But the fact is, as and when people go down the months, the attendance count relatively drops. And this is where, let me tell you that you will be requiring a little bit of motivation. And you are yourself going to be your own source of motivation. What is important today is consistency. Consistency to watch the modules, not to watch it in a fast forward basis, but understand. Consistency to solve your graded questions as well as ungraded questions. Consistency to go through each and every links which are given in the module. It's an end-to-end course. People do the bare minimum which is required. And of course, that is sufficient to pass. I don't deny to that fact. But today, degree has no value. We know that, right? It's all skill-based. So if you have skills, you are picked up. What value you bring to the table is so important today. So you also need to have consistency to attend all the live sessions which are conducted by the IIITB professors as well as the subject matter experts from the industry. Like I am one of it, right? If there is a consistency for 1 year, you pass out with flying colors. But that cannot end over here as well, because till today, I'm still learning. Before generative AI also, I was continuously learning in the field of AI. After Gen AI, I am struggling more to learn. We know how quickly the bots are coming. ChatGPT is taking over now. ChatGPT 4.0, which is super duper awesome. So things are changing very fast. So if you learn this technology, your chances of survival are very high. If you don't learn this or just you learn it at a superficial level, you will not be able to get the most of it. So my simple suggestion to all of you before I call it a day would be to be focused throughout the course. And having said that, we are good to call it a day. Can you please enlighten on AI versus Gen AI? Gen AI is a part of AI. So it is like here. Where is my Chrome? So here, AI versus machine learning versus deep learning versus generative AI. You just look at this figure. This makes you understand it. Details, you will see it later. This figure best describes the thing. AI is the broader umbrella under which ML is there, neural networks, deep learning, generative AI, large language models. That's how these things go. Right. So if you end up taking the Gen AI track, you will be learning more on it. Okay. And having said that, now please allow me to stop my screen share. I do have another session lined up at 12:30. If you have any other questions related to this, you can ask me. I can take one or two questions by this point of time. You can put this in the Q&A forum. Coming to that. Okay. Yeah. Fine. How to decide which optimal model to take? Very simple. You will be learning that in your machine learning part. As I told you, it depends on multiple factors, whether you want quick responses, or you want a simple model, or you want a model which is more accurate. If you can compromise a little bit on the speed, so you can look for a trade-off over there. So depending on the business problem to be solved at hand, we have to choose the model which best suits. For example, if I have to buy a car, I go to the market because SUVs are trending. That doesn't necessarily mean that I will buy a SUV. Let's say I like sedan. Then in that case, I'll prefer to buy a sedan. So my choices would be among the sedan. So in that case, even if you end up recommending me n number of SUVs, I will not be satisfied. Moral of the story is work in the direction of the business problem that you have. So you're going to study all these technical things going down the line. Yes, that's correct, Saket. How tech savvy will be someone with the language working? What do you recommend to cope up? Consistency, Pranav. Only consistency. We know it. This is 69th cohort. This is not the first cohort at upGrad. So you are the 69 batch who is saying the question that I am not aware of coding. Will I be able to cope up? 100% yes. 100% yes. Provided you are consistent. Whatever background you are from, today Python is so easy, so easy. So it's just about practice. And things have become really simplified. And many non-coders are learning it. Many. It's not only about one, but many. Amit, this you'll understand in the detailed session going forward. Can we do predictor and descriptive at the same data set? Yes, you can do it, Anirudh. Umang, I think your upgrad buddy is the right person to answer this question, but I think that should not be a big problem. Cool. Yes, so having said that, now I would request you to release me. I have another session at 12:30. Thank you very much. It was awesome to be a part of you. I will just quickly share with you, the presentation, right? I will share it with Mr. Siddharth, and Siddharth will be sharing that presentation with you. Yes. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thank you. Signing off, guys.
Thank you so much, Dr. Darshan. That was quite an insightful session. And you always make it very simpler for the learners to understand technical concepts. So thank you so much once again.
My pleasure, Siddhant. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. So, bye. All right. So, hi everyone. We have Henry, who is currently working with us as a manager for the content and strategy team. So, Henry will be briefing you all about the content curriculum because I saw a few questions coming in about that as well. So, Henry will give you a brief about everything, whatever we have included in the program. from the curriculum standpoint. So over to you, Henry.
Sure, Siddhant. Thanks. Uh, just give me 1 minute. Uh, just presenting my
Sure.
screen. Yeah. Hope I'm audible. If you, do let me know if I'm not
Yes,
audible.
you're audible.
All right. Great, great. Uh,
So learners, regarding the bootcamp, if you have any questions, please park it there, because we have learning experience coming up in a while after curriculum, and they will talk everything about the bootcamp. So park your questions. All right, Henry. Sorry for the interruption. Please take it ahead.
no worries, Siddhant. Yeah, sure. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the EPGP Data Science program, and it's really great to see all of you here today. First off, congratulations on choosing upGrad for your upskilling. I work in the content team, and I'll be taking you through the curriculum for the data science program. So I believe that Dr. Darshan already gave a very brief understanding of what data science is. Very quickly, from a high-level view, data science is tasked with providing solutions for business problems with a data-backed approach, right? So we've designed this entire content and the curriculum with leading industry experts as well as professors from IIIT Bangalore. This course is a unique blend of multiple fields. You have statistics, you have technical as well as business knowledge, all coming together to form a very coherent curriculum. So as you go through the curriculum, you will find a lot of recorded content by these instructors. A few of these instructors are professors from IIIT Bangalore, while a few others, are leading industry experts who are actually working in the data science industry. So some of these instructors are Professor Chandrasekhar Ramanathan, who is the Dean Academics of IIIT Bangalore. You also find a few of the modules by Mr. Esan, who is the CEO of Gramina, as well as a few other content by Sajan Kedia, Mr. Heimbeg, Mr. Hindul Basu as well, who is the CEO of Actified Data Labs, as well as Samidhan Ranjani, Ujjayini Mitra, as well as Dinesh Babu Jayagopi, who is the Associate Professor at IIIT Bangalore. There are a few more instructors, but we couldn't fill, their profile pictures here. But that being said, I hope you get a really good understanding that, we have designed this content with leading industry experts and academia. So the learning journey has been divided into these stages. So right now you will be going through the preparatory course, I believe. So you'll be learning about Python, Excel, and so on. Soon you will be moving into the data toolkit course, which is around 12 weeks. Here you would be going through some of the introductory topics in data. You will be learning about Python, SQL, Excel, and so on. You'll also be learning about certain statistical concepts like inferential statistics, hypothesis testing, and so on. So the data toolkit is very important because this will lay the foundation for your upcoming data science learning journey. So I really do want all of you to pay really good attention to all the courses and modules that is covered in this particular course. So just to give a very brief understanding, you will be learning using Python throughout the course. So in this particular module, you will have a lot of modules around programming in Python and some of the very common libraries used in data science, such as NumPy, Pandas, and so on. Then you will be learning about EDA, which stands for Exploratory Data Analysis. In short, this is nothing but using Python for data cleaning, data analysis, data visualization, and so on. As I mentioned before, you'll also be learning about statistical concepts like inferential and hypothesis testing, because these are really important toolkits in a the data field. Then moving towards the end of the course, you'll also be learning about SQL, which stands for Structured Query Language, which is a very common tool used by analysts for querying data. So once you have completed the 12 weeks here, you will then be moving on to the machine learning course. Uh, so around for 10 weeks, you will be primarily working with Python in this course. So here you'll be learning about some of the very basic machine learning algorithms here, such as linear regression, logistic regression. You'll also be learning about the mathematical principles involved behind these machine learning algorithms, and also the various metrics to see how your model how the model that you created is the best model for your problem. You'll also be learning about basics of text mining and clustering techniques in this course. There'll also be one module on business problem solving that will teach you how to apply analysis and machine learning algorithms in the context of a business problem, right? So all these courses would roughly comprise the first 6 months of a program. Once you completed all these courses, you will then be offered a choice to specialize in one particular track. So these are the five specializations that are offered under the DS program. So all these five roles or tracks align with most of the roles that you find in the data science industry right now. So the five specializations are data engineering, business intelligence or data analytics, business analytics, deep learning, and natural language processing. Right. So these roughly comprise around 6 months of a program, the later 6 months of a program, and it will also contain assignments, case studies, and a capstone project for 1 month. Right. So I'll take you briefly through each of these tracks and roles. Uh, Please do note that you can't really get, if you are coming from a non-tech background, you wouldn't really understand all these the roles in one go. But we have of course recorded content as well as instructors who will help you choose the best track for you based on your outcomes, your skills, and so on. But right now I'm just giving you a very brief overview of what these roles are and how they fit into the data science landscape that we have currently, right? So let's talk about data engineering here. So a data engineer is someone who sort of works very close with data. They sort of build pipelines. They're called the plumbers of the data science industry. So they build pipelines of sorts. They sort of these pipelines sort of move data from one team to the other and so on. They also do work very closely with databases, and they are the one and only team who is responsible for dealing and managing data, creating data warehouses. And I mentioned before, they also create data pipelines in the organization. So in the data engineering program, you will learn a lot of technical tools and techniques that are commonly used to deal with big data. So you'll learn about Hadoop framework, Spark framework. You'll also learn a lot of tools like NoSQL databases, SQL databases, and a lot of other tools that that are actually come under these databases. You'll also learn how to ingest data using Scoop, Flume, and so on, and certain databases like Hive, HBase, and so on. Right, and then you'll be building pipelines using tools such as Airflow. Right. The next specialization is the business intelligence or the data analytics track, right? So, data analyst is someone who is really fluent in analyzing data. They perform various analysis, such as prescriptive analysis or descriptive analysis, and generate insights or create dashboards and reports that will help a business. So they often query data. They use tools like SQL, structured query language. They clean the data using common tools like Python, Excel, SQL, and so on. And they manipulate data and visualize it using certain tools such as Power BI, Tableau, and so on to create dashboards or reports that is then sent to business management to actually solve business problems, right? Then we have the business analytics stream, right? So business analytics act as a bridge between data team and the business team. Data science often requires business acumen to convert data into insights that can help the organization. So a business analyst is someone who acts as a bridge between the data team and the client or the end user and communicates with both the team. They're adapted to the business or the domain that they usually work in, partly due to their experience or their domain knowledge and so on. So in this particular track, you will be learning about certain business problem solving techniques. You'll also be learning about some machine learning algorithms. You will primarily be using Python, SQL, and so on. And this track also offers a generative AI course. I'll speak a bit about generative AI in the next slide, but do note that in the previous tracks, data engineering and data analytics, we haven't included the generative AI yet. But the three tracks that I'm going to talk about right now, business analyst, deep learning, and natural language processing, there is a course on generative AI, right? Next, we have the data scientist tracks, which are the deep learning and the NLP tracks, right? So, deep learning, they both correspond to the exit role of a data scientist. Data scientist is usually someone who's adept at analyzing data, create machine learning models using a variety of algorithms and so on. So, deep learning primarily focuses on computer vision models and working how to apply certain advanced machine learning algorithms like artificial neural networks, deep learning concepts, and so on to solve business problems. Whereas in its natural language processing stream, you would be primarily working with text data. It also again come into the field of artificial neural network as well, but you will primarily be working with text data here. As I mentioned before, at the end of each of these tracks, there will also be a capstone projects for around 4 weeks, where you get to choose one real topic industry case study to solve. Right. Next, as I mentioned before, generative AI course. We have included a course on generative AI in 3 tracks: BA, DA, DL, and NLP. And again, so some of the courses or modules in this generative AI course include prompt engineering basics and working with OpenAI APIs. And the course revolves around certain projects, 4 projects in fact. So the first project is Shop Assist AI, which is nothing but creating a recommendation engine that recommends laptops to users based on their user profiles, right? So here, as part of the course, you will be, going through some very important prompt engineering basics. You'll also be, learning how to create systems using LLMs and so on. Then the next project is Helpmate AI. So retrieval augmented generation is a really advanced concept that is coming into the picture recently. So in short, RAG is a term that is used to augment certain capabilities of LLMs, because LLMs like OpenAI, ChatGPT, and so on, they have a training cutoff period. So RAG helps to augment the capabilities of LLMs by providing it access to an external knowledge base, which is where the Helpmate AI projects comes into the picture. Then the next project is Pixelcraft, wherein you will learn about certain image generation models and so on. As part of the course, you'll also be going through certain LLM Gen AI frameworks such as LangChain, Llama Index, and so on. Right. So this is a very quick summary of the generative AI course that is coming as part of BA, DL, and NLP tracks, right? Just as a note, it should be noted that since we are using OpenAI API, there will be certain cost associated with these tools and frameworks because they are certainly not free. And OpenAI, they have the latest capabilities, right? So as when you're enrolling into this particular course for generative AI, BA, DL, or NLP, you will be providing. You will need to subscribe to these APIs tools so that you can gain the most out of these tools and so on. Moving on, I will explain very quickly some of the projects that you will be coming across as you go through the program. So the first project is from the media domain, which is SQL movie assignment. This is part of your data toolkit course. So in this course, you would be sort of using MySQL to query IMDb data for the past 50 or 100 years of movie reviews. So you will be using SQL to sort of understand and query data such as what is the highest performing movie, what is the revenue of the movie, and so on, right? The next is from the finance domain, which is credit EDA assignment. So EDA again stands for exploratory data analysis. So you would be sort of using Python to perform certain data cleaning, data analysis, and data visualization on finance. A data set. You'd be sort of analyzing customer purchasing behavior to sort of figure out, which loans are, going to be repaid, which of the customers are at a chance of default, and so on, right? The next is from the machine learning course, right? This is from the mobility domain again. So in this project, you'll be working for the business problem of a bike sharing systems, right? So you will be using certain machine learning algorithms to predict the demand and supply of certain bike sharing systems, and you will be sort of predicting which area or which particular region the bikes are going to be sort of uh, included more than the average, or where the bikes are going to be less than the average, and so on, right? The next is from the sales and marketing domain. You have the lead scoring case study. So it's a very common problem in the product companies which sell products. So the context for this particular case study is that there are usually a lot of customers who might be interested in a particular product, and they eventually do visit the product, but not all of them would buy this particular product. So this case study, you will be using classification algorithms to predict which customers are more likely to buy a product and which customers are not, right? So you will be working with certain customer behavior data, which contains data on how many times customer visited the page, and if they have added the product to the cart, and so on. Right. The next is from the tourism and lodging domain again. So you'll be using data dashboarding tools such as Tableau, Power BI to analyze Airbnb properties and figure out certain analysis on the properties. The last project that I'll be discussing today is from the telecom industry. So churn is a very common problem in telecom industry as well as other product companies as well. So in short, churn refers to customers who are actively switching from one service provider to the other. So in telecom sector, people generally look for ways to retain their customers because getting a new customer is very much expensive than retaining the existing customer base. So they employ various methods like providing incentives, festival offers, and so on to just retain these existing customers. So in this case study, you will be analyzing, telecom data set to understand or predict which customers are at a higher risk of churn and which customers, will be retained and what are the main indicators of churn, right? This is a very short introduction to the curriculum for the data science program. If you have any questions, do post that in the Q&A section. But over to you, Siddhant.
Oh, thanks, Henry. Henry, one more thing I want to check. Like we discussed about the generative AI tools, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the cost. Okay. Got it.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so I believe that we already covered that. As I mentioned before, generative AI is part of three tracks, BA, DL, and NLP. So when you're enrolling into these tracks, there is an additional cost involved because these tools aren't really free, and you are expected to sort of subscribe to these tools so that and the rough breakdown is given here, and more information will be provided to you as you go through the program. The only reason is that these tools, they are undergoing certain changes, and they are the latest tools that are available in the market, and they aren't really free. So we expect learners to sort of subscribe to these tools so that they can, go through the videos and implement projects using these tools. Yeah. Over to you, Siddhant.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Henry, for sharing the insight on the course curriculum. Henry, there are a couple of questions in the Q&A and a few I can see on the chat, right? Ragini Bootcamp will be discussed now in next few minutes. I want Henry to clarify this few questions if there are there. Henry, can you please just take up the questions regarding the content?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I don't really see a lot of questions here. Yeah, so Jivan, I mean, do use Oracle MySQL. Sorry, we use MySQL, which is like an open version of SQL. Uh, but you will sort of, when you go through the module, you will sort of understand that, the underlying principles that we have covered in the SQL modules will more or less be the same, except for certain other, semantic differences when you write a query. But overall, the theory and, whatever concepts that you've learned in the, modules will remain the same. Of course, we do expect learners to sort of use the same tools and frameworks that we have covered in the module, so that the knowledge transfer remains constant. But once you have learned and become proficient in that particular tool, you can sort of just transfer that knowledge to using other tools as well. I hope that clarifies your question, Jivan.
Henry, there is one question. Well, learner is asking, is it $4 for the complete course for the generative AI tool cost? Could you please clarify on that?
No, it's not $4. It's like so all these cost estimates are like the upper limit of the cost involved. So when it comes to generative AI, the cost is primarily per token. So it's become a lot cheaper when you actually look at OpenAI APIs. So for million tokens or so on, which is roughly like an entire book's worth, right? It's roughly $1 or so on. The upper limit is just in case you want to do a lot of experimentation and so on. This might incur repetitive charges, or so that's the only limit, only reason we have kept like an upper limit. So it's not for the complete course, it's for the individual project. Overall, the entire course is going to cost you around like $10 to $12. Again, the upper limit, and it's not going to be the case for all the learners. It's just the upper limit in case you do want to do experimentation and so on. But the actual cost of the project is going to be very, very less. I hope that is clear to all of you. Again, like, so the generative AI course is going to be part, the end of your course, course 5, before the capstone again. You have a lot of time to actually go through the modules and get a fair and understanding of what generative AI is and what are the, so common, fundamentals that you need to understand before you jump into generative AI. And that's the reason we kept it part of BA, DL, and NLP tracks. So each of you learners, if you are, if you want to choose generative AI, do go for these tracks. But again, DA and D, we haven't included generative AI. Because again, the landscape is constantly changing. So we haven't included generative AI yet because they don't have direct relationship or use in these particular domains yet as of now. But as you go to the common curriculum, we have included, we have put certain sessions in between all of the modules, which sort of takes you through generative AI. Apart from the generative AI course, is what I'm talking about. There will be certain sessions where we will teach you how to use generative AI, ChatGPT, and so on for doing certain analysis like machine learning. How to use code interpreter to perform certain end-to-end machine learning analysis and how basic prompt engineering works. Again, these are part of the common curriculum. As a course, it's only part of 3 tracks, but certain concepts will be taught to you as part of the common curriculum. Um, yeah, I think I more or less covered all the queries
Uh,
regarding generative AI here, I guess.
yeah,
If
Henry,
you
I'll
have
just
any
ask you
questions, yeah,
questions if there are.
yeah.
So one question is the difference between the deep learning and GI.
Again, I'm not sure if GI is a track or
Okay, okay.
so we have 5 tracks. These are business analyst, data analyst, deep learning, NLP, and data engineering. These are the 5 tracks offered under data science program.
Right. There's one more question. Can Java, C, and C++ knowledge work with Python?
Yeah, so if you're already comfortable with these languages, I believe that more or less you will be able to transfer your skills from those languages to Python. They essentially, would I mean the logic involved, everything would be the same. Just that you need to relearn certain syntaxes and Python style of coding. But I mean, of course, you can sort of use that knowledge here as well. That'll be really useful here. Sakit, subscription time is going to be around a month or so. And again, the cost is, like I explained the breakup to you, it's going to be minimal, roughly $10 to $20 at max. It's going to be less than that, more or less. Kishore, so most of the courses have been, conducted in English because that is the common language that we have considered throughout the program. But you can of course go to the program and you can sort of take your time to go through the courses, and all the platform text, everything is in English, so nothing is available in Hindi as of now. Shayan, yeah, Python is open source. It is, it's definitely free and you can use it. Yeah, so Samyak, so once you've completed the program, once you've gone through the program, you can, just enroll into one particular track. But once you've completed the 1 year program, you will be provided access to the rest of the tracks as well. So you can take that, and you can actually go to the other tracks, content on the other tracks once you've completed the program. But as of the moment, when you're going through the program in the 1 year learning journey, you can just enroll in one particular specialization. Say for example, you can just enroll into NLP track, and you won't be, given access to the data engineering, modules yet, because each of these tracks they have their own learning journey, learning outcomes, and so on. But once you complete the program after the end of 1 year, you will be provided access to the rest of the tracks and the content on the tracks as well. And you can actually refer to these modules to prepare for interviews and so on.
Indeed, there is one question. Learner is asking just a general question. As sorry, AI is emerging and getting big. We are training by input. There are chances that the role of data scientist can be overtaken in future. What's your take on this?
Yeah, okay. So not really pertaining to the curriculum, but yeah, I mean, so once since the launch of generative AI, as a field. There has been, rapid developments in the, data field as a whole. But I still believe that, more or less these roles will remain the same, just that, they will be augmented using, generative AI, or, whatever tools is going to be, provided in the future. But of course, there will be always demand for data centers roles in the future as well. And that's the reason that we have, included generative AI as well, so that you can, use generative AI or any of the upcoming, massive developments that happen in the data field, and you can use that in your, future roles that you're going into. But of course, these roles would more or less be available, will be in demand as we go through the transition period right now.
All right. Henry, if there are any questions, you can answer them in the chat, maybe by typing and responding them. Meanwhile, I'll take
Sure,
it up
sure.
the learning experience part.
Sure thing, yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. So, hi everyone. Henry will try and respond to the questions which are there in the chat section and the Q&A. Sorry, not in the chat, Q&A section, particularly regarding the content. Right. I'll move ahead and continue with the learning experience because I see a lot of questions coming in for the bootcamp also. Right. I have a particular request. Right. While I'm explaining the bootcamp, right. I'll go slide by slide. I'll discuss about the FAQs also, which we usually get. Right, and particularly for those slide relevant questions needs to be probed in the Q&A section. Why? Because so that I can try and answer most of them effectively. So I'll share my screen just to avoid any kind of a confusion. I just want to have the relevant questions only coming in while I'm explaining the bootcamp, right? So I'll quickly brief you about the Learn platform. So there are two ways of learning from the platforms. That is, one is the browser-based learning, and that is one is the application-based learning. So I'm sure like most of you have already experienced the Learn platform, that is learn.upgrad.com. But having said that, there is one more way of learning is through the application. So we have the application available on Android as well as the iOS devices. So you all can download those with the Play Stores of yours, right? And you can continue learning from there as well while being in the commute, right? So that you don't have to access the system, right? You don't have to be in front of the laptop all the time. You can, of course, like since the platform, since the modules will have certain deadlines, you can complete the modules, videos, right, lectures from the application as well. Mode of learning, I'll explain quickly. That is, primary mode of learning will take place through your platform content, that is on the Learn platform. You all must have seen there are modules, right, preparatory, which you are doing right now. So certainly you'll have similar modules in the main program as well from the data toolkit onwards. So you're supposed to consider that recorded lectures as your primary mode of learning. To complement that, you will have the weekend live sessions also. So on the weekend, you'll have the live sessions whenever and wherever it is required, right? So primary mode of learning in platform content. Secondary mode of learning, it's a complementary mode of learning, that is the live sessions. So whenever it is required, you will have the live sessions on the weekend. Third, you'll have PI sessions, that is small group coaching sessions, starting from course 2 onwards, right? So when I say course 2 is the data toolkit is the course 1, machine learning will be your course 2. So from course 2 onwards, you'll have PI sessions. And when I say PI sessions means you will be bifurcated in a smaller group basis your qualification, your expertise in the tech domain, your outcome planning. That is, maybe somebody is planning for the IJP, somebody is planning from the transition from the non-tech to tech background. So what are the outcomes you have in your mind? Depending upon that, you'll be bifurcated in the smaller groups. So there will be a group of 10 to 12 learners, and there will be a coach assigned to you guys. So this is called as a PI session. So there will be a bi-weekly PI sessions also along with the live sessions, uh, starting from course 2 onwards, right? So primary mode of learning is platform content, secondary complementary live sessions on the weekend, and bi-weekly PI sessions. And fourth one is the mentorship call. So this is something which is very important and interesting. So learners will be given the one-on-one industry mentor interaction call. That is again like towards the end of course 2. Why? Because course 3 will be your track phase, right? And we have to give you support while choosing the correct track as per your industry or maybe your expectations, right? So we will be giving you that particular call towards the end of course 2. where you can discuss about your track selection, your strategies about job finding, maybe LinkedIn profile discussion, or maybe the resume building discussion with those industry mentors, right? This calls will be given to you all towards the end of course 2, right? We will inform you about the timelines at that time. So these are the mode of learning, right? I'll be moving on to the boot camp, but before that, there are a few generic questions. I'll quickly answer those so that particularly questions will be coming in for the boot camp only, and I'll be effectively able to answer them. Okay, how long the course is? So just a request, like whenever I'm discussing something, just relevant questions, please post so that we can answer those and we all can be on the same page. So how long the course is available to access after completing the course? So course will be available for the total duration of 3 years. That is, one is the ongoing year, and after that 2 more years. So mode of communication will be your email as well as on the Telegram channel. We are going to share the important notification. But email, yes, primary mode of communication through email as well as through the Telegram channel. We will share it with you. Sanket, I have received your email ID and I will get in touch with you shortly, right? And or maybe I'll inform Farin to get in touch with you and will address your concern. I have to pay for that, Rajat. Acha. Rajat, I believe you had questions about the generative AI tools. So as mentioned by Henry, there is a cost involved for the generative AI tools because those are the external subscriptions, right? So that is already Henry has given the upper cap for it as well. So for the particular project, you will be required a tool, right, which he has explained in the slides as well. After this webinar, I'm going to share the PPT with you all in the Telegram channel. So there you can go through it. Tools are also mentioned in the PPT, right? And there is an upper cap of the cost is also mentioned by Henry. That is the overall should be $12. Correct me if I'm wrong, Henry.
You're correct, Siddhant.
Okay, perfect. Uh, so can bootcamp go simultaneously with the program? That will be explained Pranav in next few slides. It's been told that all the tools will be provided by upGrad, right? Are you changing this again? No, so this was already informed. If you see the website also, on the website also it is mentioned whenever there's a tool part, right? For the generative AI, these are the external subscriptions, and hence we do not provide that. So whatever like AWS related tools in the program in the data science course are being provided by us, Jarvis Labs or something. But when it comes to generative AI, those are the external tools. So those learners needs to subscribe to it. So it's mentioned on the website as well. Okay. Moving on. Tools like Excel, Python for practice. We will get the access to all the tech tools like Excel, Python for practice. So Henry, would you like to take up this?
Sure, yeah. As I mentioned before, most of the tools that we would be using, apart from generative AI, would be open source, like Python, Anaconda, and certain tools that you will be using in Data Toolkit Course 1, Course 2, would be, of course, open source. The certain tools, they also the links have been provided to you. So we will be, giving for certain tools, we will be providing access such as Tableau, Power BI. Excel, again, like, if you have it, you can certainly use it. But if you don't, you can always take use of free trial to actually use Excel and so on. Apart from these, there are a lot of tools that will be paid as of now.
Somebody has posted a question for the notification. You can refer to the program calendar in case if you want to get the clarity about the timelines. Okay. So I think most of the questions are already answered. Rajat, I think that resolves the question which is raised by Emirati also. Please clarify again if the five special or six. Please clarify again, are there five specialization or six? So there are five specializations, Uma. You may refer to the program calendar for the more details. Everything is mentioned in that program calendar. We'll discuss about it, like who will be the academic support and non-academic support. So in the next more slides. All right. So I think this is also all the content related queries. So moving on to the bootcamp slide. So I'll go little slow here. Like first, I'll give you the rationale. What is a bootcamp is, why it was introduced, right, and how it is going to be helpful for the learners, right. Then the FAQs, how to enroll, and what are the processes, right? What will happen to the access? Everything will be explained. So first thing, that is Python and SQL bootcamp. So reason why we have introduced is because we have learners coming in from the diversified background, like tech domain, non-tech domain, right? Somebody who is actually from the tech domain but never worked on the Python or the SQL recently, right? So they need to brush up their skills, like they need to get hands-on on the this particular tools, right? And for that, what we have done is, as a complementary, as a support, we have introduced the boot camp for the learners. Earlier, when we used to launch batches like maybe C25, C20, at that time, we never had a boot camp as a concept, but it's a helping hand from our end, considering the understanding of this, that people are actually enrolling from the non-tech background. We have to give some additional support, right, to bring everybody on the same page. So that's why we have introduced this boot camp, right? In this boot camp, we are going to provide a rigorous practice of 7 weeks. So this will be of 7 weeks in which you will cover Python as well as SQL as mentioned here. So first 3 weeks, you will learn logic programming bootcamp that focuses on Python programming fundamentals, right from how to install these softwares to how to work on it, right? Everything will be taught from the scratch. Next 4 weeks, you will have database programming bootcamp. So in which we'll cover database programming using NumPy, Pandas, basic SQL, right? So in these 7 weeks, nothing will be graded. Everything will be a practice sessions. You will have two way of learning. That is, on the weekend, you will have live sessions on Saturday, Sunday, and on weekdays, you will have platform content to go through along with the optional assignments, as in like non-graded assignments. So this bootcamp phase is completely non-graded. You have you don't have any gradings for it, right? It's a rigorous practice. So on weekends, you will have live sessions with the subject matter expert, where subject matter experts will be taking the hands-on practice, right? Hands-on coding practice, and also will be teaching you all with the concepts, right? And on the weekdays, you'll be practicing it on the Learn platform. You'll be submitting the assignments there and going through the platform content. Okay, now I'll move on to the FAQs. Usually learners ask this question: how to enroll for the bootcamp? Okay, so we are going to make the forms live on 8th of June. This form will be in terms of the blocker. So blocker as in, whenever you log in on the Learn platform from 8th of June, you'll get to see the form there, right? And you just have to submit a response there. We are going to make this form live for a week tentatively, right? And as soon as the form is live on the Learn platform, we will notify you all in the Telegram channel as well, that look, hi, we have made the form live, so just log in and submit a response. So you don't have to look anywhere for the link for any document or something. It will be there on the Learn platform only. Now, learners usually get this question, that can I do the bootcamp parallelly? So the answer to that is no, you cannot do the bootcamp parallelly, because whenever we are going to enroll you for the bootcamp, your access will be shifted to the July cohort, because it's a 7 weeks bootcamp, right? So I'll give you an example. You're a part of the May 2024 cohort. Okay. If you enroll for the bootcamp, your access will be moved to July 2024 cohort. And the reason being, you'll be practicing the bootcamp, and bootcamp is very rigorous. So we cannot give you the parallel access. Your batch access will be deferred. And the reason is, we cannot give you the parallel access as well, because as soon as we enroll for the bootcamp, your batch will be shifted for July. There is no manual intervention, because this is completely automated and will be handled by the system, right? And since the bootcamp is very rigorous, right, we do not recommend also, and we do not provide also the parallel access to this. Okay. Now, the third question which we usually get is, if I offer the bootcamp, then do I need to do the data toolkit, which is the main graded modules now, or in the next cohort? So answer to that is, you do not have to do anything in the data toolkit, or maybe in the graded modules, which are going to go live for the regular learners right now, because your access will be shifted to July 2024 cohort, right? And you will have all the data toolkit, the graded modules over there, right? And the usual questions we get is that what we exactly need to do until the bootcamp starts, because bootcamp is going to start from 27th of June, right? So bootcamp will go live on the platform on 27th of June. Until then, you're supposed to complete the preparatory content, which is there on the platform right now. If you have done that already, you can go and find the additional resources on the platform itself. There are curated links for the learners. Maybe you can read more about it with the help of the external resources, if that helps. But you can just try and learn more about it. But then from the bootcamp will be going live from 27th of June, right? Is there any cost associated with the bootcamp? So the answer is no. Bootcamp is complimentary, in which we are providing as a helping hand to the learners. Is the bootcamp graded and has any impact on the scores? The answer is no. Bootcamp is not graded and does not have any impact on your scores, right? That's the question which I have already explained. Will I stay in the same batch if I offer the bootcamp? So the answer is no. You won't stay in the same batch if you opt in for the bootcamp. Okay. And the learners who are actually not going to opt for the bootcamp, they can continue learning. For them, nothing changes. Everything remains as it is. You can refer to the program calendar. Your main module, that is graded module, will start for the regular learners. Those who are not opting for the bootcamp, the graded modules will start from 20th of August. So sorry. The main module will start from mid of this month, June. So they can continue learning. So now I'm open for the questions, particularly for the bootcamp, right? If there are any, please do post them in the Q&A section only so that I can track them properly. I can answer them. I'll spend next 5-10 minutes on this particularly, and then I'll move on to the next further slides, support and program policies. And just a request, if there is any question being already posted, no need to copy paste it because I'll be answering those. So let's keep the unique questions only coming in. I'll just read the questions one by one. Sir, can Hindi knowing person do this course? So language will be followed as the, mode of instruction is English. Is the instruction to Python programming as a part of prep course, and the introduction to Python programming as a part of week 1 and week 2 of the programming the same? No, so preparatory content is a very base level knowledge, right? Just to prepare you on, just brush up the skills, right? Just to understand like what's there in the program. So definitely that will be more detailed in the main program, right? If we do not choose bootcamp, how much time we will get to complete the prep course before the start of the course? So if you do not choose the bootcamp, so for that particular thing, before your main course starts, right? So before your data toolkit starts, which I'm assuming, I'll clarify the dates as well. So your data toolkit is starting from 19th of June. So if you do not opt in for the bootcamp, you can complete the prep course anytime before 19th of June. That's absolutely okay. Learning platform in the sense, please clarify. Learn platform as in learn.upgrad.com. I know SQL, I don't know Python. Specific bootcamp for Python available? No. So Jibin, there will be a bootcamp collated for both. There's no specific bootcamp for SQL and a Python. If you enroll for the bootcamp, you'll do both. Like it was a 7 weeks bootcamp, so you'll do all 7 weeks for the entire duration. Bootcamp is Python and SQL or only Python? It's Python and SQL. So as you can see here, 3 weeks will be Python programming fundamentals. Next 4 weeks will cover basics of SQL and as well as the database programming using NumPy. Please clarify on the shifting of the cohort if bootcamp is opted. I'll clarify it. I'll spend more time on it. So right now you're a part of May 2024 cohort. Okay. Now, if you are opting in for the bootcamp, you'll be studying it for 7 weeks, right? So now after this 7 weeks, right, you'll be starting as a fresh candidate, right? After deferral basically. So May to July, the shift will be May to July. Okay. And in between these, you'll be studying the bootcamp, right? So access will reflect as July 2024. That will be your cohort access if you opt for the bootcamp. Will weekend live session be available as recorded one in the bootcamp? Yes. So Poojan, just to clarify this, there is a criteria for the bootcamp. Okay. For the bootcamp certificate, right? To get the bootcamp certificate, your attendance has to be 75% for the live sessions. So live sessions will be recorded, but my suggestion will be to attend the sessions because 75% criteria needs to be met during the bootcamp phase to get the certificate after completion of the bootcamp. Will the topics covered in bootcamp also be covered in the main course? So I'll give you rational. So main course will have modules week on week basis, right? There will be advanced module also coming in after every module. Like, so for example, if the first module is basic, giving you fundamental, right? Next week you'll have module which is like more rigorous, or maybe will have more advanced questions in it, right? So we do not want you to feel, oh, there's a surprise coming in again, like, oh, the difficulty level is increasing, right? So just to avoid that surprises, what we are doing is we are giving you a bootcamp option, so where you can actually learn from the scratch, you can practice, right? And slowly and gradually from the basics, you'll move to the advancement of the course, right? And hence the bootcamp. Can we get timetable 2 week prior for the live sessions? So live sessions notification will be shared with you all at least 8 to 10 days in advance, right? So you can keep a note of it through the email, as well as you can see the upcoming live session schedule on the Learn platform, on the live platform. Can I just get the access to the bootcamp recorded course if I don't take the bootcamp? Okay. So now to answer this, what I have personally done is, like, I do want you guys to have an access to it. So on the platform, we cannot provide it to you. But what I will do is, right after this session, right after this webinar, I'm going to share a couple of documents with you all. That is, first, the web recording of this webinar. Second, the PDF from this. And third, which is most importantly, that those who do not opt in for the bootcamp, for them, I have I've just listed down all the recordings of the past batches where the boot camps were conducted, right? And you can refer to those. So that will definitely help you to understand like what all things were taught in the bootcamp live sessions, right? But then on the platform, we cannot give you any parallel access. I hope that clarifies. If I know basics of Python, can I go for the programming skipping the bootcamp? So Harun, this is bootcamp. Whether to enroll for the bootcamp or not, that is particularly an individual call. So if you feel you have expertise in the Python and that will help you to like learn quickly, you can go ahead, right? But I personally suggest bootcamp to the people even from the tech domain as well, right? Maybe just to brush up the skills and to understand things better, and just to avoid any surprises. Can I just get the access to the bootcamp recorded course? If yeah, I just answered that. How to know if I have to choose bootcamp. So Meghna, you are right now going through the preparatory content, and that's the whole agenda, right? We give you all the buffer, right? So that you complete the preparatory course. And if you're finding it difficult, right, that is first criteria. If you're finding it difficult, right, you can understand that this, you're taking time to understand it, you are taking time to revise it, right? And if that's the case, right, you can offer the bootcamp. Second, if you're from the non-coding background, non-tech background, you can offer the bootcamp. Third, if you don't have recent access or maybe recently work experience for this particular domain, you can definitely offer the bootcamp. But it's an individual call, of course. I know I'm taking a lot of time for the bootcamp, but I just want all the questions of yours to be clarified. As you already mentioned that if I offer the bootcamp, then the batch will change. So I guess the course calendar also changed. Absolutely. So the latest calendar will be received once you start with the July batch, once you complete the bootcamp. Is the bootcamp necessary for someone with zero technical background? Absolutely, Pranav. As per my understanding, yes, because this is something is actually mainly created for the non-tech background learners only. Bootcamp will be depth knowledge, Purva. So like everything from the basics will be taught over there, right from the scratch. So as you can understand, if my total course if of 8.85 months course, and I have for a bootcamp, so how long my course will be if I mean the months. So you can consider July month learners, and all the duration will be applicable to you of July if you opt for the bootcamp. So you can calculate accordingly. If I choose bootcamp, when I have to complete the prep content. So if you're opting for the bootcamp, you can do the prep content for the whole month. I mean, like the bootcamp will start from 27th of June, right? So until then, you can complete the bootcamp. Until then, you can complete the preparatory content. I have previous experience of working with Java SQL for 6 years, but I have been on a break for 5 years. Do I need to enroll for the bootcamp, or it is usual for only for non-tech people? So tech people also, I mean, like people from the tech background also do enroll for the bootcamp. And considering like you had a break, you can take a call. I mean, like it's an individual call as I've mentioned, and depending upon that, you can just think whether you want to go for the bootcamp or not. How many live sessions will be there in the bootcamp? I'm so sorry, I don't have the exact count of the live sessions, but live sessions will be on the weekend for 7 weeks. So the period of the course will start from July once I offer the bootcamp. So yeah, you'll be a part of the July batch, which is launching on 31st of July. So it'll be part of that. Just like how you're enrolled in May batch right now. May batch is starting from 31st of May. Similarly, you'll be part of July batch. July batch starting from 31st of July, and you'll be following that calendar particularly. What courses are there before 15 June? What courses are there, as in I didn't get this question particularly, Shan. So I hope you have referred the program calendar. So prep course is there, and once the prep course is completed, very soon the main course will start and you can continue that. Okay, so the deferral due to the bootcamp will not impact that one free deferral which you all are getting. Okay, so that is completely separate thing. So that will still remain intact. Exactly what depth knowledge can be expected? I think this was already answered. Is there any curriculum available for Python bootcamp session? I have already done some similarities with the Python via other online materials. So whenever we have to make the communication live, right, for the Python bootcamp, right, the form, along with that, you'll have a lot of details. So that details will consist of all this information, as well as Farin, your upgrad buddy, will be conducting the induction sessions, right, for next 5 days. And in that session, you'll be discussed, bootcamp will be discussed, and Farin will come up with all these details about the bootcamp. So particularly for the bootcamp also, there will be a set topic. So there you can discuss all this. Okay, for the study abroad, in case if there are any study abroad related queries, you have to get in touch with your upgrad buddy. So let me just clarify this. So for regular program, that is non-study abroad programs, the upgrad buddy is Farin. But for study abroad programs, there is the upgrad buddy. Her name is Sandhya Rani Gadge. So what I'm going to do is I'm sharing her Telegram ID as well here. So those who are enrolled for study abroad, they need to particularly get in touch with Sandhya Rani Gadge, and she will definitely help, because I do not want to pass on any unverified information. So for the study abroad students, particularly I'm mentioning again, for the study abroad students, here is the Telegram ID I have shared for your upgrad buddy Sandhya Rani Gadge, and you can get in touch with her and she will help you out with all the information regarding the study abroad program and the duration, what will impact and how it will happen if you opt for the bootcamp, right? I'll repeat myself again. Sandhya Rani Gadge will help that on that particular part. Can we have the topic modules that will be covering in the bootcamp that might assist? As I've mentioned, Farin will be conducting the induction week, right? There, this details will be mentioned over there. And we'll also try to share this curriculum in the Telegram channel as soon as possible, so that you all can take the informed decision. Live session is on weekend. What will be the approximate time it was scheduled? It is a daytime or an... So live sessions timelines depends upon the availability of the subject matter experts, because as I have mentioned, the live sessions will be conducted by the industry experts, right? Those who are actually deployed in the industry and they're working there live. So their availability varies as per their projects, their work life, and their timings, right? So the live session timings varies. I cannot give you any kind of specific commitment that it will be in the morning or the weekend. The only thing I can clarify is that yes, live sessions will be conducted on the weekend. So currently I have a prep course on my dashboard. So there, these preparatory courses are part of bootcamp along with the online. So I think I've already explained that the preparatory content is just few hours. That is like maybe a 12 or 14 hours, right? The bootcamp will be of 7 weeks. So you can understand like prep course versus bootcamp. Like it will be more depth. It will be more informative, right? So I think that clarifies. Can you give the course dates and people opting for? Sorry, can you give the course dates for people opting for bootcamp? So people who are opting for the bootcamp, I think my screen is already okay there. So this explains, right, my screen. So if somebody is opting for the bootcamp, they will be a part of July cohort, right? July, that is July 2024, will be launched on 31st of July, right? If you offer the bootcamp, your graded module, that is data toolkit, will start from 20th of August, 20th of August, right? And for you, bootcamp will start particularly from 27th of June. So I think this clarifies. Farin, just could you please help me clear the repeated questions if there are any, so that I can just take up the unique questions now. How much time weekly, total hours? How much time? That depends, because everybody has different understanding. So they might take some time to repeat the questions, or maybe the concepts. They'll have to revisit the videos, etc. Will bootcamp live sessions be conducted on Saturday and Sunday? Yes, bootcamp live sessions will be conducted on Saturday and Sunday. It will be weekend sessions. For those who enrolled for study abroad, they don't have to go for the bootcamp. So Tahir, for the study abroad related queries, please get in touch with upGrad Buddy. So they're the right point of contact to address those. Sandharani Gadge will be upGrad Buddy, and I've recently just copy pasted the Telegram ID of your upGrad Buddy there. May I know what time frame which I have to complete the pre-launch preparatory content? So if you're opting for the bootcamp, you have the whole month to complete. If you're not opting in for the bootcamp, then you have to complete before the main program starts. That is before 15th of this month particularly. Is main content already available in form of videos? Are we supposed to can start going through? If the live content, if the main content is live, you can go through it if you're not opting for the bootcamp. But if you're opting in for the bootcamp, you don't have to do anything graded right now, because I'm making it very clear. You just have to do the preparatory content if you're opting in for the bootcamp, because in case if you do the data toolkit, the graded modules, we will not be able to shift any progress of yours in your new cohort. So only prep course if you're opting for the bootcamp. If you're not opting in for the bootcamp, if you're being a regular learner, just continue your learning, right? You can do it. But data toolkit, we will not be able to transfer any kind of a progress or the grades if you do anything in the data, if you're opting in for the bootcamp. Farin, just share the Telegram. Just a second, I'll share it again. Farin, just Telegram link you can share, please. There is so there's a different link for the study abroad learners also. Just making it very clear. Just a second, I'll just share it here. Just give me a minute, please. So there are two links. That is, one is for the non-study abroad learners and one is for the study abroad learners. So I'm sharing the both over here. So accordingly, you can join in case if you have not joined the Telegram yet, as yet. All right. If you offer the bootcamp, will there be any penalties or any change in the program fees? No, absolutely nothing. It's complimentary. Does bootcamp consist of both live and recorded? Yes, both. Telegram link. Yes, here it is. Okay, so just a request. I think most of the questions are already answered. If there are any unique questions, please post them, because we have further more slides to cover. Quickly, I'll cover those. How will I differentiate study abroad? Mona Lisa, so you must be aware about your enrollment, right? Like, have you enrolled for the only ACP program, that is only certification program, or maybe just a PGP program, or if you have enrolled for the program which has the next phase after the ACP in abroad, like there in the campus, like offline in the European university or maybe American university. So you must be aware of your own program. So accordingly, you can take a call. Telegram group also will change for those. Yes, that will change if you offer the bootcamp. So still you joined right now, and later on you can exit, because there will be informations provided here also, no? So you can accordingly. What is study abroad things? What is study abroad program? So you can get in touch with your upgrad if you're interested to enroll for study abroad. Basically, the learners complete the previous phase in India, and for the next phase they travel abroad and complete there. You can get in touch with the admission counselor, or maybe you can get in touch with your upgrad buddy. The duration of the program will be increased. Yes, I think repetitive questions are there. Of the earlier bootcamp shared, how and when will be the recorded of the bootcamp 11 shared? So recordings will be shared in the group. Okay, perfect. So I think most of the questions are clear about the regular learning, about the bootcamp particularly. Okay, so I'll move on to the next slides and I'll cover those quickly. So regarding the support channel, so there are a couple of support channels available. So because we want to assist you as much as we can during your learning journey. So we have discussion forum. This discussion forum is inbuilt in your Learn platform itself. Now in this discussion forum, there are your peers as well as the teaching associate. Okay, now peers as in from the same background, same batches, and from the different cohorts as well. So if you have any academic queries, you can post them in the discussion forum. We let your peers answer those questions. Why? Because we want to increase peer-to-peer interaction. Okay. And those answers will be verified by the teaching associates. Now, in case if any question is being unanswered by your peers, don't worry about it, because there are teaching associates. They will be responding and attending those unanswered questions, right? Within 24 hours of time span, right? That is one discussion forum. Second, daily doubt resolution sessions. So these are DDR sessions. You will get to see them in the fourth week in your Learn platform itself, right? Now, these DDR sessions are specifically to cater to the doubt resolutions. Okay, doubt solving sessions. So live sessions are different, DDR sessions are different. Live sessions are obviously on a bi-weekly or weekly basis. You will have it, right? You'll be notified about it. DDR sessions by default will be present in your live platform. While studying, if you get stuck somewhere, you can just make a note of that doubt. You can join DDR session, you can ask your question, and you can drop out from it, right? You don't have to stay in the entire duration of the session. DDR sessions are not mandatory sessions. These are basically doubt solving sessions where subject matter expert is available in the session. You're joining, you're asking your doubt, you can dropping off. You might see a lot of learners also there, because it's a common link for the particular program. So you'll see the questions posted by the other learners also. Don't worry about it. If you have your question particularly, post it, get the resolution, and you can drop out. So this is basically a support channel. Third thing, the report an error button. So to make things easier for you all, what we have done is report an error button has been introduced on each and every segment of the Learn platform. So while you learn, if you scroll down on the left hand side corner, right, you'll get to see that report an error button available, right? In case if you feel there is any kind of a content error, any sort of a content doubt you have, you can just simply click on that button and you can just get in touch with our content team by raising a ticket over there. So you just have to just try and make a use of report an error button in case if you encounter any sort of an error, or maybe you need any sort of a clarification on the content piece. There's a way you can directly report it to the content team just to avoid any kind of a gap, right? In case of the tech error also, tech error as in like maybe server issues error, or maybe Learn platform is stuck or something like that, the tech issues, you can directly report accordingly. Moving to the non-academic support. So here we have introduced a human touch to the program, right? Since you all are into the online mode of learning, there has to be human touch, a point of contact to whom you can reach out to, right? So here there are upgrad buddies. So for who are regular students, right? For them, Fareen Anjum will be the upgrad buddy. Those who are a study abroad students, for them, Sandhya Rani Gadge will be the upgrad buddy, right? So accordingly, you can get in touch with them. I have mentioned the Telegram IDs previously for the upgrad buddies as well. So I'll re-mention it here, but particularly just a request, right? Just to avoid any sort of a confusion, right? If you are you are a regular student, make sure that you're reaching out to Fareen so that she can respond to your queries promptly. If you are a study abroad student, make sure that you're reaching out to Sandhya Rani Gadge so that she can address those questions particularly. Upgrad Buddy will be available from Monday to Friday, 10:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Okay. Apart from that, we have chatbot on a Learn platform, right? In case if you have any basic queries, can be answered by chatbots as well, right? Apart from that, you can write to student support @upgrad.com also. In case if you are not able, or if you want to connect with the upgrad buddy on the email, the student support @upgrad.com is also a mode of communication where you can just reach out to, right? So that's about the non-academic support, right? Coming to the grading assessment, as Professor Sridhar has mentioned, the modules will be graded. There will be gradings for it. We have an expert pool in the backend. Through the robust weighting process, we ensure that the export pool is maintained and the quality of the export is that high-end quality is being maintained over there. Whatever the submissions you are doing on the Learn platform will be assessed by them, will be graded by them, and the accordingly feedback will be shared with you all. So that's it for the learning experience. The most important part, that is the careers and outcomes. So career phase starts after completion of the entire program. Okay, once you complete the entire program, a career phase will start, right? Now I'll explain how and who will be able to access the career phase. So the learners who are passing, right, and scoring 2.4 CGPA, basically becoming eligible to get the certificate, will be eligible for the career phase also, right? Career services also. So I re-emphasize, you have to study diligently, complete all the due diligence, right? Submissions on time, uh, score the passing criteria, that is criteria 1. of scoring at least 20% in each course, right? 25% in each course, right? And second criteria is 2.4 CGPA overall, right? A learner who meets all the passing criteria and becomes eligible to get a certificate will be eligible for the career services also, right? Now, what will happen in this career services is learners who are enrolled for the certification program will have career services for 3 months from the CGPA being shared with the learners, and the 12 months duration program, the learners will have career services eligible for them for 6 months after the completion, right? And for the masters, that is the LGMU learners, will have the career services available for them once they complete the master's program. Now, during these career services, we will assign you a coach. That is the career coach will be assigned, who will be a point of contact for all of you, will help you resume with the resume building, LinkedIn profile building, job finding strategies, right? They'll be directly coordinating with the placements and careers team to get you an opportunity if there are any, and you can always get in touch with them, vice versa. So I have a video, a short video, which I'll play it for all of you, which will explain the career services in detail, right? So just allow me to share my screen and a video. It's just a less than 5 minutes of video, but then it's quite unique points are covered in that. So I'll just quickly share it. I need a help from you all. Just a quick yes or no, whether the audio of that video is accessible or not. Just give me a minute. I'll just play it once and take the confirmation from all of you. Let me just quickly share my screen.
Hello learners. High
So I'm just playing the video. I just want to
performance
confirmation whether
coaching,
you're able to hear the
also
audio.
called as HPC, is one of a powerful and unique offerings from upGrad, where every learner is
Thank you so much for
assigned
the
a
confirmation. I'll
personalized
replay this video
high-performance
so
coach.
that you all can
Your
hear it
high-performance
again.
coach works with you over a period of 3 to 6 months once your program has been completed to help. Hello learners. High-performance coaching, also called as HPC, is one of a powerful and unique offerings from upGrad, where every learner is assigned a personalized high-performance coach. Your high-performance coach works with you over a period of 3 to 6 months once your program has been completed to help you unlock your true potential and give your best in your professional pursuits. Your high-performance coach will help you achieve your career goals by understanding your profile, strengths, and areas of opportunities, and pave the way for your desired career outcome. We understand that you might be thinking how to put my upGrad degree to the best use. If you are someone who is looking for a new job, promotion, or industry change, you must have multiple related questions around networking, resume, LinkedIn profile, job search strategies, and interviews where high-performance coach can help you. But also, if you are someone who is not immediately looking for a change or a new job, you might have questions around working better in your current role, like managing teams, decision-making, executing projects, or even starting something independently, such as freelancing, consulting, or a startup. Your high-performance coach can assist you here as well. High-performance coaching starts after your program ends. Your high-performance coach will first reach out to you over an email, followed by an on-call interaction. After your onboarding is complete, your high-performance coach will understand your profile in depth and schedule upcoming sessions based on your goals and requirements. By the end of this phase, you would have gained lots of new skills, optimized your social and professional outlook, and acquired a different mindset altogether to progress not only as a professional but also as a human being. Our high-performance coaches have impacted more than 21,000 learners so far through more than 63,000 effective coaching sessions. The average feedback rating for our sessions is around 4.7 out of 5. 84% of our learners have achieved positive career outcomes. High performance coaching is one of the most loved features of the upGrad learning experience. These testimonials speak of the impact which has been created with the high performance coaching sessions at upGrad.
As working professionals, we might often get occupied and not realize the importance of coaching. However, I have had the good fortune to interact with Ruchi and find out solutions as easy as I was talking to a friend. And this has definitely helped me shape up my perspective in multiple areas. I could develop a better professional acumen, I can say, and also certain areas of personal branding.
It was a very good experience working with her, as in starting with CV building to LinkedIn profile to last minute interview prep tips to how to manage the nervousness before interviews. Everything was guided by her, and she guided me really well. As in, I was one person who used to really freak out before interviews, but her tricks did really help me a lot.
You get exposure to industry curriculum as well as the academic curriculum, which makes it quite great because it depends. You can choose whichever field you want to pursue later on after this course. And alongside that, these people also patch you up with multiple jobs which are quite good in pay, and they also mentor you to get these jobs. So overall, the experience was quite nice and enriching.
The skills I developed through upGrad also helped me with increment and hike. The mentors and content improved my technical abilities, and I started looking for more specialized role for building AI applications.
To ensuring that I have a right CV and right presence on LinkedIn, and able to ensure that I have a persistent presence on LinkedIn. On top of that, we also spoke about the networking skills and the salary negotiation.
Happy learning!
All right. So we have covered all the questions from the Q&A. Also, like all the slides are covered and all the learning experience is done. So thank you so much everyone for joining the session today, and looking forward to connect with you all in the further sessions if there are any. So thank you so much and wishing you all the very best. And yeah, that's it from mine. Thank you.